Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loving Sairams and a wonderful evening to everyone. Offering our humble and prayerful salutations to our beloved Bhagwan. Today's session is going to be a more interactive one, and we had the last session on the topic self-introspection, and there were quite a few points that were discussed. But broadly, it came down to three set of questions, which we circulated also on the group after the session a couple of weeks ago. And the idea was, we have few people who would have done some kind of exercise or experiment or introspection using these three questions and share some of the experiences and the kind of experiences or kind of perspectives on these three questions. So what I will do is I'll just read out those three questions, and then I will hand over to, there are four speakers for today. One by one can come in. I think probably starting with Aarti Auntie, then goes to Kabir. After Kabir, we have Parveen Auntie, and then we also have Sujata Auntie as the four speakers. So, I mean, the order is up to each of them. Who wants to go first? We'll not have any formal roll call that you are number one or two or three, but we'll just kind of move in that direction. So the three questions that we spoke about, just to give a quick glance for everyone, is where did I come from? Where am I going? What am I doing? And who am I ultimately? That's a set of four questions as number one for self-introspection. Second question was, what is temporary? What is permanent? Third question was, how much hunger I have for God? Do I give him number one priority in my life? So these are the three questions which we had thought about last time as part of the self-introspection exercise. And those probably who couldn't join, I think they would have gone through the video recording and would have accordingly collected their thoughts for today's session. So over to you, Aarti Auntie. You can go first on this. Sairam.
Sairam, thank you so much. This journey is exceedingly personal. A lot of things or some things that I share may not, be in resonance with some. I'm going to pray to Swami to please guide both my thoughts, my words. So with this small prayer, I'll just start. Yeah. So first, I'd like to talk about where did I come from. So in the course of my meditation, or even in the quiet moments, when I'm outside traveling and I have long periods of no conversation, I just kept trying to see and to think, and I realized at the end that I am not this body only, much more than this body. Actually, I am an entire bundle of energy, which is made up of emotions, vibrations, feelings. I found that I'm able to, or I am communicating on that level. The experiences around me were such that I thought of something and I saw it happening, or I saw it working out for me. And these past few days, the weather has been exceedingly difficult, and I found that things have worked out. So I realized that I am maybe more than just this my body. I am the energy that is behind this body. What am I doing? So when I thought about what am I doing, um, in the moments of silence, I realized that I have taken on this particular body, my energy, my vibrations, everything has taken on this body to experience certain things which the pure energy or consciousness would not have been able to. I realized that I have interactions with certain people, and I'm not only talking about the people whom I come to face or I meet regularly. Even random strangers, for no apparent reason, there are huge acts of kindness, you know. And it occurs to me that we are together in some sort of a give and take. So I realized, and then I'm not only talking about what is positive. There have been a lot of exchanges with loved ones and with others, which completely went north. I mean, let's just say there was no joy and no happiness in that. And I realized that that is also something that I have come to experience. That is an experience I had to go through, which I would not have been able to go through just as this energy body. So I embodied myself for that particular experience. What I'm also doing in this process, once having realized that I am also energy, I am a lot of energy, I am communicating, is I am trying to raise the level of my consciousness consciously. I keep trying whenever my vision is focused on the outside. And when I say my vision is focused on the outside, when I'm looking, say, to blame, or even for my happiness, or even for that matter, to give the credit or anything, I slowly turn my vision back inside, and I ask myself, in this entire process, what am I feeling? And what I am feeling is what I have come to experience at that point in time. And I also realized, supposing at that moment I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling hurt, if I'm able to put aside that feeling, or if I'm able to go back, as Siddharth, Munira, Auntie, and we all talked about, to Nam Smaran, to focusing my attention on God, or to going within my own heart and just being there, just being, just being there, not allowing a whole array of thoughts to like kind of assault my mind. When I was in that position, I realized that if I raise my level of vibrations, if I raise my feelings, then slowly and surely, even my experiences on the outside were a bit different. So, somewhere I came to acknowledge that, yes, I am able to, just by the way that I feel, by the way that I look at certain situations, by my attitude, I am also able to change the kind of experiences that I am having. I'm able to move towards happier experiences, and I'm able to accept experiences that were not so happy as for what they were, just an experience. And talking about where am I going, I've come to understand that this stay on earth, this bodied form is very, very brief. I'm going to go back to my state of being an energy. My main aim and purpose at this point is to try and raise my energy field, my my vibrations, my feelings, so that I vibrate at a higher frequency. Now, I have also realized that Bhagwan is pure consciousness. He can take any form, any time, to be of any help to any of us. And he does that too. But if we were to experience him, I realized when I feel love in my heart, love, love that is not looking for something, love that is, it's just coming from the heart. And it's not only towards people I know, it's just flowing. When I feel that love in my heart, I can actually feel my consciousness expanding. This positive love vibration causes an expansion in my consciousness. The minute I am hurt or sad, I notice that my energy contracts immediately. If I look inside, I see, gray, gloomy, and I realize that when I say thank you, when I'm genuinely giving gratitude from the heart, there is an expansion of my consciousness. So this is the realization that I came to, that I have to move. If I feel any of the emotions which are causing a contraction in my energy, I have to release that and move towards a plane of feeling higher energy values like love, like gratitude, like compassion. Compassion need not be only for people we know. It can be random acts of compassion. It can be just giving your time by listening, because when you give your time, it's not coming back. And anybody can want just to be heard at that particular point in time. So when the plane of emotions moved towards a high frequency, I found my consciousness had expanded. So I believe that when we are in this embodied form is when we can raise our consciousness to move higher towards divinity. Divinity, I found, is something that is not on the outside. We are all divine. It is within us, but it is for us to go within and not keep looking for it without. It is within us. So the more I go inside, the more I become closer to myself. And one more experience or one more feeling or one more thing that I realized was that we are all joined together in this beautiful intermingling of consciousness. We just flow towards each other. So definitely whatever I say and do has an impact on others too, and vice versa. So if we are looking, we do have the choice in our environment to create a positive environment by our thoughts, what we are sending out. So their thoughts are very important. And who am I? So honestly, if I were to really say it, I am God. There is no difference. I have created this world around me. The experiences I'm going through are of my creation. And when I say, I don't only mean this lifetime. We have been collecting experiences in many lifetimes, and there is an interplay with people, with situations, which some of it might come up in this lifetime. So I genuinely, there are times in deep silence and in absolute blankness when I can feel the oneness with God. But I do not think that only I am God. I genuinely feel the oneness with everybody. So I believe that we have come here to experience that one universal consciousness with everybody around us. It doesn't matter if the particular interaction is going positively or not. There's no need to set up limitations. If we look within ourselves, we have the good also within ourselves, and we have the not so good within ourselves. We are Dr. Jekyll, but we can be Mr. Hyde also. So I realized that I don't need to judge myself and I don't need to judge anybody else. They are there, they are experiencing whatever they want to, whatever they have to. And I am also experiencing what I want to and what my energy field is crying out for, you know. And with regard to what is temporary and what is permanent, after having spoken and after having realized this, there is nothing that is permanent. The only thing that is permanent is our energy, our beautiful consciousness, our feelings, our vibrations. And that is what is playing out in front of us. And when the time comes, and when we have completed whatever it is that we took on this body for, we are going to let go of that also. Likewise, so also situations come and go, situations change, people come and go for the very same reasons, because there is nothing that is permanent. We cannot hold on to anything, anyone. And so that brought me to a huge level of acceptance of myself and acceptance of whatever is happening outside of me. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, so I'm consciously, or I try not to judge. I don't say this is wrong, this is right. That is what the experiences that they want to go through, and this is what I want to go through. And coming to, sorry, can you help me with what was the last question here? If someone can just help me and refresh me on that one. Pratibha, can you just tell me what the last question was?
How much hunger do I have for God?
Acha, how much hunger do I have for God? If I were to be very honest, I would love to say that I put Bhagwan at number one all the time. But the truth of the matter is that maybe sometimes I don't. I'm consciously trying always, to put him there, and not only to put him there, to, as I said, raise my level of consciousness so I can vibrate. Swami has always told us certain things. He said, be loving. All he always asks of us is to be loving. So I'm consciously trying to reach where Swami would like me to be. And if that means putting Bhagwan first, yes, then that effort is on constantly. But 24/7, if I'm thinking of him, maybe sometimes yes, maybe not. But then when I was sitting once in meditation very silently, Swami said, see, all I want of you is just to be happy and to be loving. And I realized at that point that when I am that, the vibrations I send around me are very positive. And that's all Bhagwan wants from all of us, and from me particularly. And this is what was the message I received. So with this, I just like to say that it's a beautiful journey. And actually, I love each one of you a lot. I mean, I genuinely do. I mean, it's, well, it would bring tears to my eyes to just say it. So, just take care, and let's all raise our level of consciousness and, be where Bhagwan would want us. So So we're not different from him. We are him all the time, not just sometimes and in some moments.
Sorry, I may just
Thank you
interrupt.
so much, Sairam.
Sorry, I think Siddharth has sent a message saying that he's disconnected. Can somebody reconnect him?
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so I think we could go on to Parveen Didi. I think Parveen Didi, would you like to share now?
Pratibha will decide, no?
Yeah, Parveen, please go ahead. Yeah.
Acha,
All yours.
I'm
Yeah.
just sharing on one point. I'll just 1 minute. Yeah, I'm just sharing on one point is that how much hunger do I have for God? And have I made him number one priority in my life? I'll just start with this. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. Paramatma covers everything, everything is covered by Paramatma. And where there is an individual, there is a one person, the individual, there has to be the total. And that total is the Lord of energy and power. When I have hunger, hunger means it's a demand. Huh? So I'm demanding something, and when I demand something, supply will come. Like if I'm hungry, I will go and somehow the food will be provided, supply comes. So when I have hunger for God, that supply will come. But sometimes if I have the hunger, it's okay. But sometimes the Lord also makes us have that hunger for him. Well, I have experienced part of it that sometimes the hunger has been uh, from him. Okay, you get connected to me. So and my hunger for God, I realize should not be because of sorrow or because of problems in my life that I have, but my hunger should be because of love, because he, the high, is the ocean of divine love. But I don't know this, but actually I live in that ocean. I'm already in that ocean of love, and I don't know it. Maybe I experience it here and there in split seconds. Few moments of life in our life we experience it, but we don't know what it is. So when I started thinking about this, I realized that he is the ocean of divine love, and I'm actually in that. The hunger that Mirabai had, maybe that hunger for the Lord Krishna, but maybe for me it is not possible, that hunger of Mirabai, because in this modern day, I live in this modern day and very diversified world. I cannot feel and sing and like being totally absorbed in the divine like Mirabai. But what I can do, I've realized I can make my mind focus on the divine presence within me. And how will I do that? With like last time we had discussed, with the meditation and introspection. With that, my mind gets focused, and slowly it becomes a habit. And because only hunger for the divine does not mean that hunger for the divine has made him priority number one in my life. But slowly I have to develop it, develop that priority that he is priority number one in my life. Prayer is also fine tuning with Paramatma, Anurag, love for Ishwar. And so that tuning will come through meditation and introspection. Like I live alone in Delhi. So the divine is priority number one in my life, because I want his companion. I keep saying to him, you are mine, I'm yours. And I have kept feel that every day that he is my family. Like when I go out, I tell him, Chalo, Baba, let's go out. You are going to be my companion. But look after the house also while we are gone. So he has two roles to play. So he is like, a part of a priority in my life. Like when I go and buy things, first of all, I come and show it to him. Okay, this is what I bought. And, because he is my family. And the moment I lie on the bed, uh, the chant starts. Baba's whatever what I chant usually, that just chant starts. So I feel his presence in my house. So I have to keep it real because he is in my house, he is my family. So I have to keep it very neat and tidy. Sometimes my kitchen counter is a little dirty, but I say, oh God, Baba is here and he will see ki gand pada hua hai, so I better settle it up. So slowly I feel I have developed that type of hunger. So I try to keep everything pretty neat and tidy because if I see something dirty, I said, oh, ये तो ठीक नहीं किया, बाबा हैं घर में, तो उनका घर गंदा नहीं रखना मैंने. And not only my house, but I try to keep my thoughts and words clean and sweet. Malagi, my words, I try to make them madhur. Like in our last session on introspection, we discussed the same thing that our thoughts have to be, we have to be thinking, okay, what am I thinking? What are my emotions? What are my words? And when my thoughts also, I'm always thinking, okay, am I blaming anyone? Am I judging anyone? Because the Lord does not like that. He says, throw that complaint box out. No need to complain, no need to judge. And so slowly I'm developing it, but this session was very important of the introspection. And Baba has said, in order to fulfill the yearning of the devotee, yearning is the hunger. In order to fulfill the yearning of the devotee, Hari, the immanent basic being of the universe, will come in any form. So I think that yearning we have to keep. Maybe it won't be like Mirabai's, but yearning I have to keep. I have hunger for the divine because I always want to be connected to him. God is love. It is not only because I live alone that I am wanting to get connected, but I enjoy his presence and I'm hungry for more. I'm hungry for more love, more joy, and more peace from him. So Namasmaran, I feel, is important. It calms the mind, it silences the mind, and introspection connects us to the Amrita Tattva. So hunger for me is still a journey, and but he is priority one in my life. Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, we can call in Kabir ji.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
I think after what I've heard, Aarti ji has said and Praveen ji have said, I think I don't have much to say. Very in-depth and beautifully explained by Aarti ji and Praveen ji. So I have very less to say about this topic. It's a difficult topic. And to sum it up in the way, where did I come from? Where am I going? What am I doing? And who am I? Still yet to find out. I have not found out. Still the struggle is on. I will just say that introspection has helped me in 2-3 ways, and 2-3 incidents which I will try to answer, these questions. And these incidents don't cover everything under the they are not going to answer the totality of the question. They are only going to answer a certain perspective of the question. from which I can try and answer what this has said. So recently, not very far, about 1.5, 2 years back, due to COVID and other things, I had lost my job and things were very bad. And I had a strong intuition that something is coming. Very strong intuition. I knew that this would happen, and it happened finally. So there were a lot of fears. There were a lot of tensions. I've got a family. I'm the only earning member, and my daughter is a child of determination. So all thoughts run through the mind. Ki aage kya hoga? And uh, people are not getting jobs, and as you grow senior, it's difficult to get. Now, while sitting quietly and thinking what to do, and eyes were closed, I could actually feel something inside me, and I could almost visualize something which was bad, which was something as if somebody was inside me, which is equally my size, and something was in there inside. And luckily, I didn't give up, and I kept on looking at it, and it was a collection of fear and everything which was pondering right inside me, and I could actually feel the presence of that exterior person. And this is right through across the whole body. Very soon I realized, when I was kept on looking at it, that it's nobody but except me. And I was 100% sure it's me. And because I realized that it is me itself, I lost my fear, and I had very good thoughts, and I was very pleasant. I had pleasant thoughts, and my fear soon ran away. This brought me progress, because whenever I was it was so deep a thought that over some time, whenever fear would come, I would actually go back to that instance when I had this experience, and I would realize it's no one else except me. So that is one incident. Uh, Also, I think I had told you all about my daughter's story and how we went through, and Baba's dreams and so many things. And I realized that my dad is back through as my daughter, and Baba had told me so, and pre-warned us in the hospital and everything. And still, though my daughter is 12, about 2-3 years back again, I was even a bit earlier than that, when she was about 8 or 9. So 4 years from now, I was once thinking, why am I still crying for my parents when my dad is back? And Baba has kept on assuring me that you have got what you wanted. I realized that I'm not crying for them. I was still crying for myself. I was crying for those moments which I had enjoyed with my parents, and that form of my parents, not the new form. And I realized that my love for them was not what I imagined it to be. I have been selfish, and I have realized that that love was also pretty superficial. I was surprised, and lot of false ego, lot of false uh, image about myself dropped, and it was like raw. I was standing raw in front of myself, and I realized that I have to really move ahead in life. I still am there only, and not progressed in life actually. Uh, One more thing was that I believed my introspection, and what happens is, many times you read good stories about saints and other saints and Satya Sai Baba, and those remain in your mind, and they help you when you are in problem, and when you have wrong thoughts, they actually help you. You go back to a story and think of that. that's the simplest form, easiest form for me to go. And due to which I realized that even very troubled times, there was a story of Swami Rama of how his guru tells him that I will help you overcome the fear of snakes. And Swami Rama gets extremely happy, saying that wonderful. So Guru says, prepare tomorrow the yagna and I will teach you. So Swami Rama gets up very early at about 4 o'clock in the morning and starts collecting shrubs and everything. And he is just waiting to light the yagna and learn how to cure his stark fear of snakes. So while he's doing that, he realizes he's holding a snake in his hand. And his guru, who's all pervasive from very far, of course, he knows everything. So he says, you caught a snake. He says, yes, what do I do? So he says, nothing. So Swami Rama says, quickly, you were supposed to teach me a mantra, which is going to remove my fear of snakes. So he says, who told you I'm going to teach you a mantra? I told you I'll help you cure the fear of snakes. I didn't tell you I'm going to give you a mantra. So he says, okay, how do I cure it? So he says, look at the snake, love it, and see how good a creature it is, and you must love it. It's a very nice creature. So Swami Rama says, what are you saying? This is a creature which is I despise, I'm afraid of, and fearful, hateful. He's going to bite me for no reason. Look at it, it's so ugly. What is wrong with you? Please help me out. He says, no, with all the strength, whatever I have taught you till today, put strength into yourself and love the snake. So this debate keeps on going for 10 minutes. And the snake is still in his hand, the shrubs are in his hand, and Swami Rama is waiting for a solution. And finally he agrees to his guru, and with all the effort, of course, he is a great yogi and a great soul. So he starts putting those thoughts in his mind of how good the snake is. It actually changes the perception of how his feelings are towards the snake. And just as when he reaches the peak of those thoughts where he's feeling, okay, the snake is fine, kind, nice, lovable, the snake goes away. So this thought helps sometimes when you are introspecting, and when you have gone through, when I have gone through a lot of, there are moments when I feel I'm angry, I want to take revenge, and in small ways, and fight. It is then when the stories and this helps, so this introspection helps. So if I now come to the questions of where did I come from, where am I going, what am I doing, who am I? I think I can only tell you a few things. Thanks to Baba, what I was earlier, I still don't know where I am and where did I come from. What am I doing? There is a constant struggle to improve and introspect. And where am I? Even I don't know where am I. I really don't know. I mean, I know the physical plane, but I don't. I leave that to Baba, because I think remembering Baba, remembering the great saints is enough. जब बुद्धि खुलेगी खुलेगी, तब तक ये what is temporary, what is permanent? Yes, as Aarti ji said that body is temporary, which hardcore experience of Baba and my daughter have made me realize it is temporary. But every day there are so many attractions. Man forgets, man forgets that it is temporary. He believes he is permanent, and so I can say that I have to still grow into this thing. How much do I love God? Do I give him much priority? I think I don't want to answer that, because if you love your mommy, daddy, you need not say it, you love him. You love them. That's understood. And I feel shy of saying it. So that's it. Thank you. Sairam.
So Aarti, we have Sujata. Thank you so much, Kabirji.
Thank you.
Very simply, very beautifully said. So we can invite Sujata now. Sairam Sujata,
Sairam, this
all
is
yours.
Sujata.
Yeah.
So I don't talk much in the study circle, and I don't share personal experiences because once something happened, and I am in this constant habit of talking to Swami. I don't know whether it is really. I did ask him once, is it really you, Baba, or am I hallucinating? And he stopped talking to me for 2 weeks. So after that, I stopped asking that question. I know it's really him. So once I had asked Baba, people are sharing so many of their personal experiences. They talk about what happened between you and them. Should I also do that? And Swami said, no, it's not your business to talk it between you and me. I don't know why Swami told me that. So I don't really share any personal experiences as such, but today I would like to say a few things that I hope it is him talking. And I have prayed for Swami to guide me through this. Um, I do take lectures for executive MBA students, and I should not be short of words. But like Ji did in the beginning, I'm very emotional as far as Swami is concerned. I do sing, but I will never sing bhajans because I can go into a trance in between a bhajan. I don't know why I do that. Perhaps I start feeling Swami very closely. Is that introspection? I would think it is. Where you're able to allow, I did see the video that was shared of last week's recording. And if you ask me about why am I introspecting, the simple answer is that um, there are these 5Ds, there are 9 code of conduct. One thing that we have all known about Swami is that he's been very direct. You couldn't say it in simpler words. Swami has told us very clearly, plainly, this is what you should do. Don't behave like this, behave like this. Yet we don't do it. And he told us we are Bangarus. Do we believe it? I don't. I don't yet believe it. He called us Prema Swarupulara. Do we believe it? Sometimes I want to believe it. And when I'm trying to work towards believing it, that is when I'm introspecting. So what my personal feeling and experience is that इतने simple words में इतने directly किसी ने बताया नहीं है. You can talk about Bhagavad Gita, you can talk about the Upanishads, you can. What did Baba say that is not already there in our scriptures? He didn't say anything that is not already there in the scriptures, but he said what is there already in the scriptures in terms that any idiot like me can also understand. So if you ask me what was my reason for introspection, my reason for introspection was that Swami told us to introspect. There was no other reason. But then something happened, and I realized, in fact, if you see these questions that are there, where did I come from? What is temporary? What is permanent? If there is anybody in this group to whom these questions have started occurring, then you are introspecting. Because these questions are, I think, the core of introspection. This is from where the word introspection begins, you know. You start asking yourself these kind of questions, which to the outside world may seem very funny. Like, to give you a very small example, the society in which I live, the company, I run my own company, the zone in which I work, the women with whom I move, all of them are they constantly party, they constantly pub, and I've never been to any one of those. The reason is the 5Ds and the 9 code of conduct, 9 items under the code of conduct that I know I need to follow. Why? Because I want to become Banga. It's as simple as that for me. I'm not yet there. I know that. Baba has given, Swami has been very, very kind. There's nothing that he has not given us. Our coffers are full. Our minds are full of love. So when the lockdown occurred, I must proudly thank Baba, and I must proudly say that he was always with us every minute. And my husband, who's the managing director of our company, said 180 salaries go. If there is anything remaining, then that is ours. So we forwent our salary, and Swami saw to it that that promise was kept up by Swami. So when you are trying to reach to a goal, and when you're constantly questioning yourself, these questions: where did I come from? Where am I going? What am I doing? And who am I? That is why you're asking yourself these questions. Because Swami told us where we have to go. We have to become his Bangal. That's it. So nothing beyond that. So are we capable of that? Are we ready for that? That is what we need to introspect, and that is what we need to reconsider. Like, don't we all do it? Don't we, when we're going someplace and we have a map in our hand, we keep considering, we keep going through to see whether, we're going in the right direction, whether we are reaching the destination properly. In corporate parlance, we call it the KRA setting, and the periodic evaluations. And these are not the year-end evaluations. These are not your, technically not your appraisals, but then we keep doing it because we have a goal. The goal is very large. Swami is waiting at the end of it for us. And we need to recalibrate and see whether at least the 5Ds are being met. So I hope I am clear when I say the 5Ds. I don't need to explain that to this satsang. We all have to follow the dedication, devotion, discipline, discrimination, and determination. Are we following even these? That is the reason I introspect, because I want to know whether I'm following them, whether I'm following them well enough. And if you ask me whether that questioning is permanent or temporary, that questioning is 100% permanent till I reach, that is, the first question that has been asked, where did I come from? He told us answer clearly to that. We came from him. He created us in his own form. Where am I going? I have to go back to him. Why? Because there is no other love that you can feel. There is no other feeling that you can feel more deeper than his love. Whatever you do, wherever you go, you're in the biggest of the 5-star hotels, wearing the finest of the silks and wearing the best of the diamonds. There is no feeling that is better than when I'm sitting in my little Bhagwan's room, and I'm just looking straight at one photo of Swami that I have. There is no better feeling than that. At that time, I may just be in my home clothes. Then what is it that is the most attractive part there? The most attractive part there is I'm recalibrating my goal, and I'm deciding that I have to go back there. I'm one of those lucky people who, and I am a slight bit of a logical thinker, given that I am from the IT line for the last 25 years. So I asked Swami for my goal. I don't know whether I can share this. I hope Swami forgives me. He has given me my target. I know where I have to reach. He has located a spot for me on his feet that I need to reach. And so that is where I'm going. That's it. And what does it take me to go there? What am I doing? I'm struggling very, very hard to follow Swami's path in this world. How hard is it? It's the hardest thing to do. I have always maintained this, that, Swami used to create miraculous vibhuti and all that. That's nothing. The minute he traps you, the actual magic starts. You're completely under his, what do you call chapeta in Hindi? You are under his, completely he's grabbed you. You can't escape that. So who am I? I'm someone who has been lucky enough, blessed enough to be grabbed by Baba, to be selected, approved of by Baba to be in his fold. And therefore, what I have to do is to stick to the path very, very firmly. And what is temporary, what is permanent, everything else except that path, everything else except that spot on his right foot where I have to go is temporary. Permanent is only him. Nothing else lasts forever. How much hunger do I have for God? That's something I pray to him to give me. When I introspect, like to the first question also, I don't know, most of you must have read Nisargadatta Maharaj's I Am That. Uh, one of the passages in I Am That brought to memory one thing that always happens to all of us. Have you ever wondered in what language Swami speaks to you? Everybody has an answer. Swami speaks to us. And what language does Swami speak to us?
The
I
language
don't
of
know.
the heart. He
It is your
speaks.
mother tongue mostly. It is mostly your mother tongue. Just go and check. The words Swami uses, the way he expresses, will be mostly like the way your parents did. And when this was in a satsang long back in Kurusav, some other discussion was happening, and this came out of my mouth. And sitting next to me was a very famous French artist who's a devotee of Baba, who's always there in all satsangs. He was crying when I said this because in his head, Swami speaks to him in the same way that his late mother and father spoke. So why is that happening? What is it that Swami is trying to tell us? Swami is trying to tell us that he has given us Maya. He has put us in this world. He has created this circumstance for us. He has manifested us. He is guiding us. He's watching us. Every experience that happens, he knows it. He has put us there. And how closely is he watching us? He is watching us very, very closely. I don't know whether I'm right to say this, but I know I have displeased Swami when I have strayed from the path. I know it. I do get a small little scolding. I do get a small little, sometimes a bad stare from Baba. I know I have done something wrong and I have to quickly recalibrate, think about what I did wrong, how I could have avoided doing that. All that is introspection. So the minute you start thinking about these questions and the minute you start moving towards answering them, at that point you're introspecting. You don't have to sit in one place. You don't have to be doing anything. What is necessary is silence. We went through some very bad phases in life. I have been through some really, really bad phases in life when I was totally alone. There was nobody with me. And after 5 years of that phase, things straightened out for us. At that point, I realized that I was never alone. I was hearing his voice. I didn't recognize it. I didn't respond to it, probably because I was in trouble. But that voice didn't leave me. That was permanent. It was always there. When parents left, also that voice stayed. We don't recognize it. We don't have to respond to it necessarily, but it never leaves us. So, as I said, we are very lucky that Swami accepted us, that we are literally, unke chapete mein aa gaya hum. Magician played his flute and like the cattle of Vrindavan, we just set off behind him. Or maybe we went off to dance Ras Leela with him. We have been lucky to have been captured and trapped by God, who is permanent. Swami is permanent. His voice is permanent. And do I have hunger for God and do I give him our number one priority in life? It started out as blind chanting. With faith, without faith, many times. But like how maths doesn't change, you cannot ever say that 2 + 3 is 6 and get away with it. That kind of a concept we have to understand exists for God. Number one priority in life, if I'm able to give him someday, then that day will be the day of moksha. That day will be the day I'll be able to release myself and probably completely start loving and becoming the Bangaru, becoming the Prema Swarupulara that he wants us to become. So that would be probably the end point of it all. To give you one more thing that I would like to share. I've read Ramana Maharshi and I have understood nothing. So, and I've told people that I can't understand anything. I'm very good at English, but ye hai kya? The explanation of what Ramana Maharshi said are all there in Baba's simple words. So when we try to correlate the truth through introspection, many things start making sense. That is my experience. In closing, I want to just share one thing. Another thing is that, we are normal, we are fine. We went around, had party, shouted, jumped around, played around with relatives, children, ye kiya, wo kiya, movie dekha. Happy. Start the spiritual journey. And then the conflicts begin. You are constantly fighting with yourself. You're constantly in a state of flux. You're not at peace. That's the beginning point. And introspection helps resolve that. That has been my experience. Whenever I start feeling extremely in conflict, I don't have to do anything. I have to just become silent, and some voices start playing. Some bhajan starts playing. I see Swami's robe. I can smell vibhuti. Some things happen and the peace starts occurring. Those things that happen are essentially my strength. I have done a SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis for my spiritual journey also. So those conflicts are when I'm moving away from my goal. And because again, I want to progress spiritually. And when I introspect, again, the spiritual journey, it kind of recalibrates and we come back on track. So that's my experience. And I just said, as I said, I just want to read something that I found in the, do I have the time? Do I have 2 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I found something in the I am that, in the preface of I am that. And I would like to read it to us if you don't mind, and I'm not able to find it now. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. So in the foreword, there is this paragraph in I am that, is who am I? I am that, Nisargadatta Maharaj's translation of his speeches. In opposition to restless mind with its limited categories, intentionality, subjectivity, duality, etc., stands supreme the limitless sense of I am. So that's a final goal type. So, and here what we have to do is that he says the only true statement is I am. All other statements they are not existent. That's a very exalted state for us to reach. But through introspection, I hope we can reach that. So what exactly do I get how do I know I'm introspecting well? According to me, in today's world, being on the right path itself is very difficult. So when you are introspecting, when Shesh had the guts to say, I pay all salaries, if there is anything left, I take mine. That kind of a stand, if you're doing, then that means you're moving closer to Swami. You have been successful in your introspective journeys within, because everything is within. Nothing is without, like many of the speakers previously said. One thing that I realized entirely through introspection is that we are wrong about the goal. That is where our entire mistake is happening. Many of us are still under the impression that materialistic goals are necessary, and that is where things happen. We have to recalibrate and decide that Swami's goal is eternal happiness and sadhana in order to achieve that. So when we have, I think that I don't think this, according to what Swami has guided me, when I learn to recalibrate that goal, then my introspection is successful. Sairam, thank you. I hope I made sense.
Very well said. Beautiful, Sujata.
Thank you, Swami says.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
beautiful. Yeah, Siddharth, come in, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
struggling today. I need to introspect on my internet connection today. In 2.5 years is the first time it happened. My laptop refuses to work today, and I'm somehow I've connected through my cell phone. And I was struggling to see if it is working. Anyway, I think I'm visible and audible enough, right?
Yes.
Okay. I know it's a different angle to see, but please bear with me for today. Okay, I think I missed out Parveen Auntie's talk. Unfortunately, that was the time when there was complete disruption in my Wi-Fi, but I could hang on to some aspect of Aarti Auntie, and then I think Sujata Auntie's thing was quite clear. I could hear Kabir also. I could hear quite clearly, and I think all of them. Thanks to you for thanks to each one of you for sharing your thoughts and perspectives. Um, See, my personal belief is these are introspection questions for your own self. Okay, there will be a limitation in how much you can share in public, because it's if you get an answer in 10-15 days, then you are a realized soul, because it's not easy to get the answer to these questions. And as all four of you mentioned that it's not something that you can get today, but yes, we need to kickstart the journey. The ultimate purpose of this session was to kickstart the journey somewhere, at least one session, two session, and we need to keep doing it. It's not that after today's evening, I mean, I've spoken, so my work is done. That's not the agenda. It is the kickstarting the journey. So we should continue to do this on a regular basis. I would refer to few things. One is, I think, Nisargadatta Maharaj's question about I am that. I don't know how many of you have read his book. And at different points in time, I had shared some of his messages on our group also. He's no more obviously physically, but he's one of the greatest saints of Maharashtra who lived in Bombay. And I don't know how many of you know his story. He was ordinarily a pan wala guy on the street. He used to sell pan in a small shop on the street. And within 3 years, he got the realization and he wrote this book, I Am That. And the introspection on the first question of who am I, where am I going, what am I doing, where did I come from, is, the simple answer is what even Nisargadatta Maharaj said, because I'm taking the leaf of what Sujata Auntie said was, I am, I exist. That's about it. I am means I exist. Rest, everything is non-self. So there are two aspects. One is self, one is non-self. The self is I am, I exist. Rest, everything else, I am this. Moment you say I am so and so, I am this, I am that, it's all ignorance. Because in reality, nothing of these exists. Okay, I'm putting from his statements, because he says moment you say this and that means you are getting into the delusion, because they don't exist in reality. It's only a misnomer that probably this exists, or I am this, my name is this, my designation is, my titles are this, which are basically an ego, a statement which is there. But I am the purest form of I am, which is where the goal is, where we need to reach. And that is, if I can corroborate with the example of the center and the periphery. One of the past sessions we looked at, in the fair, you get that pinwheel, and बीच में जो रहता है वो center में it's very stable, and everything else is on the periphery that keeps, based on the wind, it keeps rolling around. Small kids always enjoy watching the pinwheel. So, it basically I am is that center point, which is very stable and steady. But pinwheel में जो periphery में रहता है वो घूमते रहता है, and it's always volatile. So the entire purpose of introspection is from that periphery of the pinwheel to go back to the center where there is stability. If you have a stability, naturally, there is much more calmness, much more peace, ability to accept life as it is. Your likes and dislikes, practically come to naught. Your expectations come to naught, because you don't need anything. Expectation is when you need something. If you don't need anything of this kind, absolutely and easy to let go. So many times we enter into fights with our relations. All that becomes very easy. But the entire journey is from that periphery of the pinwheel to come down to the center, where is absolute stability and calmness. Moment we are going on the periphery, rest assured that you are, going through a lot of question marks and vulnerabilities and volatility of life. And ऐसा क्यों है, वैसा क्यों है, ये ऐसा क्यों नहीं समझता है, वैसा क्यों नहीं होता? Why is it happening in my life? And I go through the chaos. The chaos is on the periphery. So introspection brings us back to stability and peace, to go back to the center, and which is what I am is. I am, that's it. is a center. I am this means you're on the periphery. I am that means you're on the periphery. So who am I? Where am I going? What do I want, or what am I doing today? Is basically we're asking the question to push us back to the center of the pinwheel. It's a process. It sounds very easy, but it's a difficult process. But more and more, as we come closer and closer, we'll start getting those experiences of peace, calmness, happiness, joy. Which again, Swami says, the real happiness is in union with God. Where is that God reside? That is right in the center. We call it God, Guru, Atma, Self, divine energy, whatever different names given to it. But basically, that's the center of the entire creation. So we go back to our real self, which is that I am, is where it is important. Okay. Second aspect is, since again I'm going back to Sujata Auntie's statement because she was sharing a lot of corporate lingo, and I thought let me put my bit to it. There is something called PDCA cycle. PDCA. Okay. Plan, do, check, and act. P for plan, D for do, C for check, and A for act. PDCA. So whatever we do, not just spirituality, anything that we do in life, be it relationship, be it a professional work, be it in our home, be it cooking, be it working on a laptop, or be it working in office, any activity we do, we should ideally follow a PDCA cycle. Which is, you plan something, then you do. Moment you do, just take a pause and check that what I had planned and what I've done, are they in congruence to each other? If it is not, then act on the changes. That's a PDCA, plan, then do, after do, check, and after checking, when you act on it to make any changes, your ability to stuck to your goals are much better. So PDCA cycle is another, I know it's a corporate lingo, but it's very useful in anything that we do in life. So that is one aspect which we can think of in anything. Just plan, do, check, and act. Unfortunately, what happens, many times we straight away hit the do, or we plan and wait for things to happen. So P से D जाते हैं या D से P आते हैं, but C and A नहीं होता है. Check and act नहीं होता. So check is all about, if I can corroborate, check is more about introspection. Just pause and reflect, which is what we discussed in the last session also. So pause and reflect and see where I was headed. Anyway, and Swami also gives a beautiful example of a lion. He always says, be like a lion in the world, always ruling over the senses. The forest of senses. These are his statements if you go and check. And basically, what does a lion do? If you observe, lion walks, treads a path, takes a pause, just has a glance behind, see how much he has traveled, and then goes ahead in his path. Just observe this. The lion's behavior is, he walks a mile, takes a pause, just glances in the back to see how much he has covered the distance, and then takes his next journey forward, which is actually the way how the king does. If you want to be king in life or queen in life, basically you need to look at as how does a lion behave. And that's what Swami keeps telling us. And again, it's a PDCA or a lion's behavior or an introspection. Basically, at every point in time, if we are able to pause and reflect back and see whether I've traversed the journey or not. Otherwise, क्या होता है अभी अंधाधुन हम लोग जर्नी में जा रहे पता नहीं कहाँ जा लेकिन जा रहे हैं. We don't have time to take a pause and reflect. We're just going like a herd mentality. सभी लोग जा रहे हैं तो मैं भी जा रहा हूँ. क्यों जा रहा हूँ पता नहीं, पूछना भी मत. That's a sense, because we are scared to know also where we are headed. So introspection gives us that opportunity to take a pause, just glance through, and it's an opportune time to correct ourselves before the end comes. It should not happen. The end comes and suddenly we realize, okay, I should have taken a different path, and then wait for the next birth to correct it. So introspection gives us even again, I go back to the corporate lingo, lead indicator of where you're heading. There is something called lead indicator. There's something called lag indicator. Lag is after the event has happened, then you check. A lead indicator is, it's giving you the lead understanding of where you're headed before the event is ended. So introspection again gives us to look at and check, where am I heading in my life? Okay, and the example that we saw last time, the lead singer has been saying 30 years से मैं गा रहा हूँ लेकिन मैं वैसे का वैसा हूँ. Probably he has gone in that state without checking where he has moved. He has not crossed the distance at all, but living at the periphery which is there. So these are some of the aspects which I just thought we can sum up and see. See, hunger for God as a question is completely personal. How much hunger we have for God Are we progressing towards that or not? In fact, pick any of these questions. Even if you take one question for introspection, the remaining two will get answered. You don't need to answer all the three for introspection. Pick any one of these questions. The second and the third, or the first and the third, or first and the second will get answered either. Okay, and one last piece I would say that what is temporary, what is permanent. Your introspection will give us tremendous peace. It will give us tremendous peace. Because आज क्या हो रहा है, we are clinging on to it, to many things which are temporary in life. जो हम लोग को बाद में दुख भी देता है. But moment we are able to realize, intellectually, all of us know everything is temporary. All of us know are brilliant in intellectual capacities. But how many really believe this statement that everything is temporary? The day we start believing, I'm telling you, dramatic changes will happen in your life. Your approach to life will change. ये भी हम लोग ने past में discuss किया था, but it's important to repeat because the difference of intellectual and realization is the belief. We are not believing it today. We feel we are permanent and everything else is, kind of everybody else is temporary. हम लोग permanent है, but reality is all of us are temporary. And if everything is temporary, and in the long term everybody is dead, there is nothing to hanker around, nothing to worry about. For a fraction of a second, if you just believe everything is going to end today, this moment, will you start fighting for things? No. Will you start pushing your opinion? No. Immediately there will be a peace. Because वैसे भी खत्म होने वाला है, so why do we fight? Why do we waste time? We are seeing that belief आना चाहिए. जब तक वो belief अगर आ जाता है, 99.9% of our issues will get wiped out one shot. Because you will no longer be interested in temporary things, right? Who is interested in temporary? Everybody wants permanent. So which is again Swami says, and happiness is in an interval between two pains. That is what the nature of this world is for us. So we have to go beyond this duality. The only best way is to realize through introspection. I'm explaining based on my realization what I had. But the best is if we are able to go within ourselves and have the same realization that everything is definitely temporary and I don't need to worry about what will happen in future. वो सब wipe out हो जाता है in short. So that's how the beauty of these three questions are. And if you are able to do this, I'm telling you, most of the challenges will go. Mind will be at absolute peace. We are able to enjoy the present life which is there given to us. And slowly but steadily we'll be going towards the divinity, which is the center of the creation. So that's the sum and substance of why introspection is so important in spiritual life. Without introspection, we will not know whether we are progressing. I hope that helps.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sai
Ram.
Any questions to be answered further? No questions. The only question is when we'll get food. It's dinner time. Okay, no worries. So I think we'll end the session with this.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let's have Samastaloka and then close the session. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.